mess. I just, you know, I cut off the front bit first and then I cut off the back bit and I measured it. I can't measure for shit. Look what I've done. Hi guys. Or should I say good morning? And when I say good morning, it's probably only about 8 o'clock because even though it's a Saturday morning, people have been waking me up since about 6 o'clock in the morning. Just because you're up doesn't mean I've got to be up. So anyway, I watched a video the other day, a Brad Mondo video, and I absolutely adore Brad Mondo. He did a tutorial for a butterfly cut. And I'm so excited. I've been cutting my own hair for years. I normally do a triple unicorn cut with a beard cut, which is where you get it and you just bring it down there and you cut across the bottom because it gives a nice rounded shape at the back. I'll show you a photo of that, which is the shape that I like. I know Brad Mondo thinks it's really dated and everything, but I'm 54, so I'm pretty dated. And then I do a bit of Brad Mondo curtain bangs. I'd say, just going by memory, I haven't cut my hair for at least 6 months, and that's about par for course for me. I normally cut it about every 6 months. Although I did cut some of it a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. See that fuzzy shit there? Well, it's not so fuzzy now, but it's a lot shorter. It looks like I just took the little, I combed it up into a ponytail and then brushed back down. I had a lot of surgeries a few years ago, and you know, when you have, and they were really big surgeries, and when that happens, and I had weight loss surgery as well, so I wasn't eating much, your hair falls out, and then that's not so bad, especially when you got, you know, like shit tons of hair like me. But when it grows back all fluffy and frizzy, and so when I was wearing my hair down, it looked all right. And this is my bed hair. I haven't done anything. I went out last night and I just slept on it and got up. I'm not going to style it just so I can cut it. But when I was wearing it down, it was just this fuzzy ball of hair here and here, which was driving me crazy. So all I did was I grabbed it and I cut about 2 inches off it and then just point cut into it a little bit. And it was just the tiniest little bit. So now you can still see it, but it doesn't, well, it probably looks fuzzy now because I've got my bed hair on. But I normally now just get these nice little defined curls there. And when I wear my hair up, I just have these little curls around the bottom and it looks fine. Much better than the frizzy shit that was there. So anyway, I watched Brad Mondo's tutorial on the butterfly cut. So I'm going to give that a go instead of what I normally do. And I'm quite excited for it because as you can see, there's not really any curl left in my hair. And it's because it's got so long that it weighs it down. I'll show you the back of it. So you can see how long it is. Go back over here. So it's pretty long. So I'm going to give Brad Mondo's butterfly cut a go. And I'm excited for it because it'll give me, I do have layers in it now, but it'll give me much shorter layers. And I'm hoping that it will make my hair bounce up and be really nice and curly again. That's the plan. That's my hope for it. So I have some scissors I'm going to use. These, I normally just use them for cutting paper and stuff, but they should be right. They're a bit sort of sticky and, no, I'm not going to fucking use those. I'm going to use what I always use. Proper scissors. Look at that. I'll show you the difference between them. Look at that. Really nice. Can you hear that? These even sound nicer. And they're really nice. They're really sharp. They're not, you know, like really expensive ones. You don't need to get expensive ones. And then if I feel like it, if I can see it's a bit, what do you call it? A bit steppy there. I don't mind that because it's sort of like when my hair's nice, and I'll show you some photos. And actually, I'll put up a photo here as well of the last, maybe last or the second last big haircut I cut when I started doing the unicorn cut, of how it turns out. And I don't mind it looking that, you know, a little bit there. It's just how my hair goes. But if I need to, I'll take some weight out of the layers there with these thinning scissors. And I can't find my towel comb, but I don't really need it for this, but I've got a proper comb. Don't look there, it's a bit dirty. With the wider and then the thinner. And I've got my trusty, this changed my life, my Kmart wide tooth comb, $4, and it's just amazing. Just to get the knots out of it before I actually like start sectioning and stuff. And I've got a couple of hairbands. I've got some thinner ones, but I've got some thicker ones as well because of my hair. These ones might not do the trick. So, and also because my hair is quite thick and when it's shorter it is curly, I know Brad Mondo says to cut your hair wet, but I'm going to cut mine dry so I can see what. No, I'm not going to cut it dry. I'm going to go to my laundry and wet it properly, because if I try to do it with a spray bottle, I will be here all day. So I'm going to initially just comb it through with my Kmart comb to get all the big knots out, although it shouldn't be too bad. My hair is surprisingly unknotty for hair that's this long and this thick and wild at times. And it always sounds like I'm absolutely ripping at my hair when I had this on video. I promise you I'm not. So I'm going to find the apex of my crown and just lay the cream on top. So if I stand up straight, the apex is there. So that's where I need to comb forward from. And then from there, down to my ears and forward. And then from there down to my other ear. Now I want this really smooth. So now I'm going to do a ponytail right at the front, like right on my forehead. Full disclosure, this is the fourth time I'm trying to do this. But I'm not going to show you all of them because it's just, oh my God, I'll be here all day. I can't get it low enough and in the middle enough. It's driving me crazy. If this doesn't work this time, you're going to see a tantrum and then I'm just going to cut it anyway because I've had enough. Perfect. I am happy with that. That's in the middle enough for me and it's low enough for me. So, comb that out. Now, I'm going to get my regular scissors and I'm going to cut off about that much. I'm measuring it down here. I'm not going to cut it there. I'm going to cut it there because Brad said to do it, you know, like on the same line that you put the ponytail in. But I need to measure, and because I need to measure, my shoulder, need to measure the same amount. So I'm cutting off about, I'll measure it with the scissors, probably about down to there, roughly. If I pull that out there, I'm going to cut that. So I'm cutting there. I love cutting my hair. I swear, if my hair grew really fast, I'd be cutting it every second week. Now, I don't recall Brad point cutting, but I'm going to because my hair is just so thick. Just a little bit. That'll do. And then I'm gonna do the back as well. I probably should have done both of the ponytails at once, shouldn't I? But I didn't. All right, so comb that out. I'm lucky in a way that if I don't get this really perfect, it doesn't matter so much because my hair's just, it's not straight or fine, or I don't know, maybe it's fine, but I've got a lot of hair, so it's not going to be noticeable. Right. That's too far fucking forward, mate. Alright, now to cut this bit, Brad said you cut the same amount off and you like over direct it forward the same as the, did he say that? I can't remember. I'm going to take a moment to go and rewatch his video. Okay, I've got this. I've got this. Now for this one, he said, not straight up, a little bit forward. So, and I want to cut off the same amount as I did on the front bit. So that will be around about here. So, a little bit forward. Let's cut that. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Okay. That's how much I cut off. That's a lot. I'll keep it on the side there and I'll measure it, but that's a lot. And I will point cut into that a little bit. Ooh, if I can like not stab myself in the face. Bend that out a bit. Oh, it was a little bit uneven there. Not anymore. Right, that'll do. So I can take these out and see what we've got. I'm trusting you on this, Brad. Changed my haircut for you. Now apparently there will be a bit of a disconnect between the back and the front, which I can just trim up. Let me give it a... Doesn't really look like I've taken much off. But I did. Oh yeah, I guess there's more layers through there. I should have got my other mirror, to see the back. I'm just going to get my other mirror. Alrighty. That looks alright. Yeah, I reckon that looks alright. I'm going to give it a comb through, just so I can see properly if it's even. Let's see if I need to do any fine tuning. I'm probably gonna, I won't do too much because I can always take off more, you know, in the following days when I see how it dries and stuff. That is nice face framing, isn't it? I don't know if there is a disconnect, but I'll fix that up in a minute. Brad did his kind of just like combed it down and freestyled it. I can't do that because I can't see to do that, but I've got another way of doing it. Yeah, a little bit, I don't know. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, see how it's all frizzy and fluffy there? I'm going to fix that up, but I can't really see any disconnect. Doesn't mean it's not there, it just means I can't see it. So, I'm going to just part it down the middle, roughly. And I know it's drying out, and I'm not going to go and re-wet it for this bit because when it's a bit drier like this, let me tuck that away so I don't cut it. I can see the frizzy easier to cut. So, because I think that that butterfly cut, the way you do it, it doesn't really cut off the ends. So I will do that with my little beardy cut. Straight across there. So I'll take, look, just look at all that shit. I don't need that. Where's my the lens? I don't need that shit on my hair. That is just, that's not nice hair. Oh, and those scissors I got with the thinning shears as well, and the comb, and a nice little case. I got that on Amazon for about 25 bucks. That's $25 Australian dollars. See, that looks much nicer across the bottom now. And that bead cut normally still leaves a nice shape in the back that I like. Yeah, oh, that looks heaps better, doesn't it? Oh, is that a bit uneven? I can't tell because I have all this writing on my mirror. Yep, that looks even to me. And just to make sure that it is nice and even and there's no disconnect, let me fix this camera up. Got my face up like that. It's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I'm just going to comb it all forward, and this is just it. This is how I get rid of any sort of disconnect that's there. Bring it forward. That's all right. A little bit there. A little bit there. Tiny little bit there. So that's all even. And the same on this side. And I start at the front because I can't remember why. I think I saw Brad Mondo do it one day. A little bit there. You can just see how it just goes a bit uneven. And then a little bit steppy. A little bit steppy and boxy. Tiny little bit there. That has gone a little bit shorter at the back than in the front, so I will blend from the back to the front. Oh, and it's only a little bit, because what you can just blend it in, it's fine. And it's only the very little bits at the front. Yeah, that's fine now. It's fine enough for me. Check the back again. I can't tell if that's even. I feel like this on this side it's a bit longer than here, but it just could be the different hair colours that I've got there. And I don't want to fuck around with it too much. Because then, you know what happens, you know, you end up with no hair if you just keep cutting at it. But I will just check it. No, that's okay. Yeah. Do you know, this is what happens with my hair. Every single time I cut it, it's always shorter on one side. Oh, is it? It is a little bit. I'm just going to cut the tiniest little bit off this side. And this is where I have to say, this is it. This is enough. It's enough. Now, that face framing's pretty good, but I might go in a couple of days once I see how it sits and when it's dry, and I may trim those front bits a little bit more, maybe bring it up to nose height, like with some curtain bangs, maybe. But for now, I'm going to jump in the shower and wash it and put some moisturiser in it and take it for a walk at the beach so it can dry naturally in the sun and the sea breeze. And I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. Guys, I just, you know, I cut off the front bit first and then I cut off the back bit and I measured it. I can't measure for shit. Look what I've done. That's what I cut off the front. Are you ready for this? That's what I cut off the back. Look at the difference. So, as I was saying, probably going to end up cutting more off the front anyway. So, you know, it'll even it out a bit. So it's a bit of a butchered butterfly cut, but we'll see how it turns out. Now I've just had a shower. I washed my hair and I conditioned it. And I have not touched it with a towel. You can probably see that it's dripping, absolutely dripping. Now I'm going to put some moisturiser in it and comb it through with my wide tooth comb and then scrunch it. Scrunch it through. And I do scrunch it through everywhere because I've got fine, fluffy regrowth bits everywhere. And then I'll give that a good comb. And I can't remember what brand it is, but I think it's just a Pantene leave-in moisturiser. And I'll just scrunch it up. I'm not going to touch it now. I've just thrown it back and I will leave it. I'm just going to take it for a walk at the beach. My hair likes to walk at the beach and I'll see how it dries. Hi guys, guys, look at it. This is actually the first time I've looked at it because I just, looked at it properly. I went and put makeup on and went to the beach. I have avoided touching my hair as much as possible. So it's still tiny, a tiny little bit damp in places, but so I haven't touched it. I'm going to give it a bit of a scrunch up and see what happens to it. But I think, even though it looks very beach messy at the moment, I quite like it. I haven't looked at the back with it dried like this. You know how I showed you those bits of hair, back, front, which are very different. Somehow the haircut has still worked. But with the back bits, you can see there were some shorter bits from, and then, you know, some longer bits from where the previous layers were. It's obviously a lot more layered now. And I've got a lot more hair at the front than the back. It's a lot, that chunk I cut off was a lot thicker. I measured them. The front piece that I took off was close on 12 centimetres, which is around about 4.5 to 5 inches. We'll call it 4.5 inches. And the back was close on 19 centimetres, which is, what I worked out for, probably about 7.5 inches. So I've taken a fair chunk off, but it's still, you know, it's still long and it'll grow back. I'm not really worried about it because I can still get it all up into a ponytail or a bun or whatever, and it's curlier. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to give it a bit of a scrunch, but I do it upside down. So I'll take you, there's another great view. I'll take you upside down with my scrunchie. Just going to give it a good scrunch like that. You can probably see, maybe you can see my runners with all the sand on them. I didn't even take them off when I came home. And I don't want to fuck around like putting product and stuff in my hair because I don't normally do that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Brad, if I didn't already love you, I do now. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Look at that. It's gone. We're not curly. It needs to be quite a lot shorter to actually be curly, but it's gone wavy and it feels amazing. Look at those layers. I could maybe do with some more face framing, but I'll wear it for a week and see what I think. But I might want some more layers in that. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Even though I technically fucked it up because I cut a lot less off the front than the back. I don't think I've really got a disconnect there. I don't think I do. And it looks amazing. So that's why, I had a feeling I was gonna love that. Love it. That's why I've worn this Bob Ross t-shirt today. No mistakes, only happy, just happy accidents. And that's how I feel about my hair. I did a little bit of a happy accident because I didn't do it right because I've cut the, you know, the different things. But it still worked out. And if you don't know who Bob Ross is, I'll put a video up here. Go and check him out. He's amazing. He's just absolutely amazing. And while you're at it, get yourself some paint, some brush and some paper and do one of his little fun tutorials. Even if you can't paint, you can do it. I can't paint and I can do it. So that's how I'm just so happy. I'm going to see if I can get it into a bun. Oh, I was looking for that. I wouldn't be happy with that. I'm really happy. I am so happy. Thank you, Brad. Look at me, just loving myself in the mirror. Oh. I'm like, do you know what? I had the thinning shears ready in case I needed to take some chunks out. I don't need to. That has just worked out perfectly. And look how much thicker it is in the bottom. I think it's still longer on one side, but that is just my hair life. I'm used to it. If I start hacking into it, then that side's going to get shorter and then that side's going to get shorter. So I'm just going to leave it. It can be asymmetrical, just like my eyebrows and my eyelashes and everything else on my body. That's it. I'm gonna turn the camera off, but probably just keep adoring my hair for a bit longer.